You know, the world of work is changing so fast and so quickly. I really think we need to kind of keep a hold on what we do, and we think about our roles and how we describe what we do. And I've always talked about being a consultant, and nobody ever knows what a consultant is, and it's very different in different environments, isn't it? And for me, what I've found over the years from my work is to think about how I describe who I am and what I do. And one thing I talk about is about the mentality of two things. One is about being a hacker, and two is about being a storyteller. And I think that's really fundamentally a lot of what everyone does in work and life, is they hack the system and they tell some kind of story. Now, it's particularly visible for me, I suppose, when I'm doing a video or something like that, because we've got a hack going on, which is fair, and a story going on, or coaching or workshops. But really, for all of us, when we have a conversation, we're telling a story, and it's got to come from something. So the hacker mentality for me is obviously come from the world of IT. And it's about you view a system, get interested in the system, and look for gaps and fractals and cracks, and how you can make something better and create an innovative fix with a lot of fun along the way. And we're talking about hacking for good now, obviously not hacking into someone's bank account or personal details or anything like that. That's, it's like anything, any tool can be used for misuse. The baseball bat can be used for baseball and other things, we know that. So that hacker mentality, so it does two things for me. You get a bit carried away with the hacker mentality, but for me it's talking about what can you curate. So you look at something, let's say for me, hack the subject of authenticity. What can you curate? What's already out there? So find a great video or a podcast or some of the books or whatever it might be. Then you enable creation. Can someone else create something on your behalf, or not, or for them even? And then you look at more of a digital asset. So you look at how you would create like a video, for example, if it doesn't already exist. So just be careful when you hack the system. Don't always go straight to creation, because there's things that you can either curate that's already out there, why not, reuse with permission obviously, or you might enable someone else to create that because they are attending a conference, so they could come back and put a PowerPoint deck together based on what they found at the conference. Or you could create something where it's a short film or whatever it might be. And often that can be digital, I suppose, in this environment. So that's the hacker mentality. Next part to that is once you've hacked the system, then you can tell the story. So you've got the setup to the story, once upon a time there was, which is great. Then you want to introduce that conflict. So why is this a problem? Why is this a challenge? Why is this an opportunity right now? And then you resolve that, the love story, if you like. There's a problem, they weren't in love and they couldn't be together for certain reasons, the prince and the pauper, or whatever princess and the pauper might be better, and then they came together, they ran away, or whatever it might be. So you think about how you tell that story, and ultimately what we're doing is telling stories. We set that story up so that people can relate to that, something that's relevant. You think about what conflict exists, and then you think about how we can resolve that. And again, you might be stopping the story at a certain point in time, because you might not have the full answer now, but I always say, tell the story where it is today. And say, well, I think this could be how it might end, or this at least is our next step. We don't know how it is going to end. So there you go. A great way, I think, to describe who we are and what we do, particularly in a learning role, in a human resources role, which many of you might be in or considering, is that hacker mentality and that storytelling mindset.